Wow, what a game, guys. Good God. It's so quick. If you have access to this, please play it. It's very good. It's very, very good. It's very worth your time. It's not that long for an RPG. This is way shorter than Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. Paper Mario 64 I'm not sure about, but it's shorter by far than most of the games, most of the RPGs that I've played. And that's not a bad thing. It's an absolute joy. Not a single level overstates welcome. Not even close. Maybe when we got to the top part of Booster's Tower and I was like, I'm done with this. But that's really maybe it. And even then, that's like not really. What an absolute joy. I'm not saying this is the greatest RPG ever conceived. I'm not saying this is the most deep or complicated or thematically intense game that I've played. We've played a couple RPGs with like substantially more interesting, critically, and emotionally engaging themes and core character conflicts. Sure. Was this just an absolute blast though? Hell yeah. What a well put together video game. It's so much fun. It's so... God, the Mario RPGs have a lot of heart. And while TTYD still reigns supreme in my heart, because it's TTYD, this game was so good. It feels very appropriately classic Mario. And I think this is, I was saying earlier, it kind of feels like a fusion of Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi DNA. I think it leans a little more heavily into Mario and Luigi than it does Paper Mario. But man, but that being said, all of them end with usually fairly horrifying final bosses, with Smithy being the first of. And man, it was good. It's so good. Mechanics, very smooth, a lot of fun. Never got too difficult. We died like one time, but it was fun. And sometimes having fun is the operative part. We didn't find ourselves that challenge by FF7 either, and that's a game that's much more serious, a lot more gravity to it, right? So it's all about how you approach it and how you play and how much you expect. Like, you know, these genres that people are expected to not know much about, and you're supposed to be learning the ropes. We played fairly efficiently because I'm a min-maxer by nature, and while I don't know the actual dominant strategies, I was trying to push the character as much as possible because I like min-maxing. To whatever degree we can, at least. Well, that's Smithy in the parade, huh? Gotta show everybody lived, I guess. Womp. The designs, loved them. Smithy's a great-looking final boss. It just is very evocative. I love this whole core theme of the enemies just being living weapons. It's great. Very cartoony, still very lighthearted, but in a way that makes them clearly demarcated as the bad guys. Smithy wants to make some weapons and hurt people with them. That's really it. They weren't even really like killing people. They were just kind of like making them freeze in place in the forest, stuff like that. They were just being kind of obnoxious jerks. And that's, you know, a good tone for Mario. Now, that being said, 1000 Year Door does involve a demon that's been locked away for 1,000 years and wants to bring ruin and chaos upon the world. It's still very sort of high concept evil of like it's a big demon, but it's a little darker perhaps than Weapon Man wants to make weapons because weapons. But again, as time to times change, and I'm just floored at how well structured this game is for the first game of the franchise, of the series, or whatever you want to call this, of the Mario RPGs. Like, my god, like, it really, really holds up wonderfully. Like, there's so little of this game that feels aged, which is true of a lot of SNES games. As long as you've played something in the genre, it feels like it's fresh enough, right? Like, if you would just release this on Game Boy Advance, on mobile, right, it'd be fine. You'd be like, or on whatever, modern console. You'd probably not release it with this exact graphical style, unless you're trying to evoke the 90s, but man, like, you could for sure release this and it'd be fun. Otherwise. A little bit of touching up here and there, some quality of life in the menus and stuff like that, a little more transparency on how effects work instead of just like, it works. A little more visual clarity on frame windows for getting timed hits, but like, these are all very, very minor quality of life things in the grand scheme of things that just point to the game being old, not that it's aged badly. And that's just like, damn, like, they really went and made this one, guys. Absolutely phenomenal. We get a solid Geno boost out of 10 on this one. I'm feeling very refreshed. I'm feeling very, very happy about our playthrough here. Geno's great. Geno for Smash. As I said earlier, Geno does not have to be in Smash, but I would play Geno in Smash. I would love to play as Geno in Smash. Love Geno. Geno's great. I don't see why there's, like we talked about earlier, I don't really get why there was like this massive violent push for Geno several times now. He's cool, but like he's got like 20 lines maybe in the whole game. He's cool, don't get me wrong, but like this is not like when you're talking about like Golden Sun, those are some like massive dialogue heavy RPGs. And like when you want to rep a game like that, I get it. You got some time with these characters, you want to respect them. It's been years, but this is a Geno. He's cool. Don't get me wrong. But Paper Mario. Think about that. Consider those characters. Dang. I don't know much else to say. It's just good. Like, I think that's what I'm trying to say when I say things like critically interesting, right? Like there's not a lot of like truly baffling or like bold decisions in this game, right? Like design wise, there's not a lot of like narratively in FF7. There were so many moments I was just like shocked by at how that they actually went through with this and presented this thing as they did, and so this game didn't have that. What it had was just absolutely joyous mechanics, and of course the very innovative and engaging timed hits mechanic, which I think is just fantastic, and I'm so glad it continued throughout the series. And aside from that, it's just a smooth as hell, buttery JRPG. That's a lot of fun to play. The OST, unbelievable. Set in this amazing mood the whole way through. And there's just not much else I can say except play the dang game. It's wonderful. I loved it. Give it a shot. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I had an absolute blast. I'm looking forward to playing more Mario RPGs. I played a good chunk of them myself, but let's play some more on stream at some point. So I know we've talked several times now about playing the Super Paper Mario. It's a game that I have and I would love to play again. I haven't actually finished it in a long time. So I'd love to go back to that and give that a shot again soon. Like I was saying, the games have heart. And although there's no like big narrative moments, like in FF7, Chrono Trigger, these are games that have like these crazy emotional narrative moments. This game doesn't have like a strong narrative. There's not a lot of plot or character happening here. Well, there is just like a raw heart and style and just like raw like feeling, and that's very, very infectious in terms of getting invested in it. Like, yes, it's just like there's a bad guy and you beat the bad guy because he's bad, and there's like not a lot of in between there. But I think a lot of it is owed to the OST. But like there's so many great emotional strokes that are just it evokes, for me at least, nostalgia for something that I didn't experience myself when it came out. And that's a bizarre feeling to have, but one that I really like. And I think points to the fact that it's not quite nostalgia in itself. It's more just like heartwarming and gets you right in the heart, you know? I should have some better words for this, but the lexicon of game design is very, very thin. So, and this is like 3 different mediums at once, so it's like, you're talking about music and style and mechanics, and like, it's just, how do we, whatever. Anyway, play it. Phenomenal game. Absolutely gets my full-hearted recommendation. I played it on SNES Classic, if anybody's curious about that, but that's really all I got. It's available also, I believe, on one of the eShops. Maybe? It's otherwise kind of hard to get a hold of. Is it on Wii U? It is on the Wii U eShop. So if you're looking for to buy a copy of this, it's on the Wii U eShop. Very accessible. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, if you got a SNES Classic, then you know where to find it. Anyway, folks, I'm Essell. Thanks for being here on this playthrough of YouTuber Vons. This video may actually come up beforehand. I'm debating doing like my credits reviews as videos before the whole series goes up, just to give that little like, hey, this is the part that is relevant for those of you who care about my takes. The Essell _TV video game takes. So I might do that first. If you see this first, that's why. Otherwise, you'll be seeing this after the playthrough. And hopefully I'll catch you all in the next one. This week we'll decide what to do after that. But for those of you watching later, hopefully you enjoyed this, and make sure you check out the Twitch stream if you haven't already. And otherwise, I will see you soon. But until then, enjoy yourselves, get some rest, and peace out.